Hi guys, welcome to the Silver Report. Today is Thursday, January 26, 2017. Gold is currently at 11.89 and 10 cents. Silver is currently trading at $16.84. And we see now in this climate, there's almost a tangible feeling of uncertainty that's out there. It's almost look at the world we're living in right now. We have the Eurozone. Britain leaving the euro. We have the front runner in France talking about leaving the euro. We have this massive government debt, and the elite are really going to need a war to cover up the coming economic collapse. Chaos is their method, and there's a powerful lobby for weapons manufacturers. So there's a powerful lobby for war, not only for the U.S.-involved conflict, but we see in the leaked emails. Almost every civil war around the world pays to play with U.S. arms manufacturers. So the world war is profitable. Instability in the world leads to contracted weapons manufacturers. We saw after Trump was elected, he mentioned several overinflated government contracts where they were overcharging on purpose, bleeding money from the tax base, overquoting and underwriting, and pocketing the difference. And we must understand how laws are really made. Money or campaign contributions are made to have officials elected, and as payback, contracts are awarded or laws are passed, leaving anyone without millions of dollars to blow, with taxation and no representation. And we see right now, for months, there has been this cycle of propaganda, years, describing Putin that is reminiscent of the news cycle in the 90s about Saddam Hussein. We have exiled the Russian diplomats, increased sanctions, no budge. But we now see a new conflict stirring between China and the U.S. We see Xi Jinping coming out and saying that everything works better with an open market. There's great fears that he has. We have Trump announcing the dispute of the South China Sea, and we will defend our territory. But you see, we have developed a massive bubble. Unjustified rate hikes. They need an event to hide the blame. They need an event. The people are waking up to the Federal Reserve scandal, and they fear torches at their door. The people have no trust in the news, and no reason to. That's the reason for the attack on so-called fake news. They are losing control. The methods for regaining control is another major war or event. These mass shootings are not as effective as they need. They need fear in the people, so they find a scapegoat that is believable. I mean, these ISIS videos are like watching Wag the Dog in person. They need something bigger because they're not going to give up power without a fight. And this hyper-inflated stock bubble is the perfect target to increase the debt. With more quantitative easing and siphon control of our country from elected officials. Just like not so great Britain. They can't do what the people want, what the people vote for. Their elected officials can't till the debt is paid. Our debt is out of control, unsustainable. We must really bring into perspective who we owe the money to. There's a great thought that somehow China owns our debt, but it comes directly from the money source, the Federal Reserve. We are losing options to govern our country. It's on loan from our creditors. We're borrowing this land, and everybody, all the countries are printing money. A big party among all the fat cats until we lose our bed from under us while we sleep. And then begin that you can't eat. IOUs. When we wake up, we'll begin to realize this is the point. Take control in your own hands. Buy silver now. In this break, put it away. We have a day of reckoning coming. The clouds are gathering. America now, when we look at, the struggling Russian economy, that's what they talk in their collapsing currency. Russia is a creditor nation. America is the largest debtor nation in the history of the world. That's how high our debt is. We went from having a surplus to passing free trade to now being the largest debtor nation in the world. And we're giving up sovereignty. The printing of money it's a scam. We are in debt slavery. And getting silver on the course to have long-term gains and attractive for wealth preservation, we see, because we're in debt slavery, more money needs to be printed. You see, there's no escaping that fact. And it comes back to this uncertainty. There is absolutely no reason for an excitement over the Dow Jones Industrial Average except for misplaced enthusiasm. When these investors are beginning to understand that what they want cannot be accomplished, because in all reality, folks, we live in a country that is controlled by corrupt bankers and politicians. And if an individual gets in there, we don't hear any talk about the Federal Reserve. They're not mentioning the Federal Reserve. They're not mentioning the Federal Reserve scandal. They're not mentioning that this monolithic monster has control of our economy, and they don't mention how they strip countries of their sovereignty by debt. They put them into debt. This is why they benefit from stock market crashes, because the country goes further into debt, giving up more and more of their fiscal policy, giving up more and more of their tax income, having to hand over everything they need to keep the country successful. They are bleeding this country and bankrupting this country. Bet on silver. Because in the inevitable occurrence that they continue to print money, because they will, because they benefit from crashes, because they benefit from war, they benefit from quantitative easing. The money they print, the Federal Reserve handpicks who they hand it out to. They questioned Timothy Geithner during that economic crisis. Do you know which banks this was given to? He said, I'm not going to answer you. And that's just where we live. We have control of our country being run by monetary policy, creating boom and bust cycles. And we see they're meeting right now to discuss another rate hike. They're stripping this country, and they're popping the bubble. They know that right now these are so overvalued, overinflated. They are popping the bubble, and you need to get out of Dodge, out of harm's way. Now is the perfect opportunity for massive gains coming up in the silver and gold market, because there will be this realization, this uncertainty. People aren't sure if it's good, if it's bad. They know that this is much different than what they've seen before. And they're going to panic. They're already ready for the panic. We see so much resistance in the silver and gold prices, though they've raised interest rates, though they're making all these alterations in monetary policy. We still see gold and silver holding strong, resisting against their manipulations, against their massive printing into the gold futures market. We see that it's holding. It's because there is a massive push to the positive coming underneath it. There's a massive demand, just based upon the ratio of produced silver every year compared to the 80% of industrial demand. It's 80% is industrial. It's being consumed. So we see that there is a pushback, that they can't keep the price down. And when this uncertainty, this fear that's in the people, begins to materialize, we're going to see violent moves, and now is the perfect time to be able to get in. All right, thank you guys for joining me. If you like the content, be sure to subscribe. There'll be more info just like this. Like the video, share. Coming up here at the end of the month, we're going to have something special, so stay tuned, you guys. Thank you for stopping by. And leave me some comments, what you like about the videos, what you want to see coming up. I just thank you guys so much. All right, stay tuned. Thank you.